If you have stiff knees due to arthritis, an old knee injury, or even just from sitting in your desk chair too long, I've got 3 simple stretches for you. It's like having an oil can for the Tin Man. But before I jump into those, here's the disclaimer. So for the first 2 stretches, you're going to need a chair. And what I want you to do in this first stretch is to place your hands in the seat of the chair and walk your feet back until you can get your back completely straight. So notice I'm bending my knees to get my back really straight. Now here comes the stretch. What you're going to do is press your feet into the floor, and keeping your back straight, you're going to straighten both knees. You're going to hold that for about 2 Mississippis, and then you're going to release the tension for about 2 Mississippis or chimpanzees or whatever you like to count. So we're going to repeat this 5 to 10 times or until you feel less tension behind the knees. Now, if this is too steep of an angle, if you simply can't get your knees straight, you can go up higher on the chair or even go to where you have your hands on the back of the chair. So you can see that as I bring the angle of my torso up, it gets easier and easier for me to straighten my knees while keeping my back straight. So remember, you want to keep your back really straight, but you should feel that nice stretch along the backside of your thighs and your calves, which of course cross your knees. So for your second stretch, I want you to walk around the back of your chair. We're just going to use the chair back for support. What we're going to do here is get after the calf a little bit more. The reason is the more I see people complaining of stiffness in their knees, the more I notice that they also have stiff ankles. So we're going to go ahead and get after this calf one more time. You got a little bit of it in that first stretch. We're going to get a little more in this one. So you will need a hand towel, and all we're going to do with it is fold it in half once. So that's already folded in half. I'm going to fold it in half again, and I'm going to roll it tightly and place it on the floor to use as a prop under my foot. And then I want you to put the foot on top of the towel roll so that the ball of the foot is on the roll and your heel is on the floor. Now, make sure that your knee and your toes are pointed straight ahead. In other words, you want that knee pointed towards the middle toe. If your knee is pointed to the inside of your big toe or your foot is rotated outward, you're escaping the stretch. It's not doing you any good. So once you make sure you've got good alignment, ball the foot on the towel, heel on the floor, you're going to straighten up and you're going to step forward. So notice my hip is staying relatively straight. My knee is relatively straight but not locked. Hold the stretch for about 2 Mississippis and then back off and release the tension. So just like in the first stretch, we're going to use this on-off stretching technique where you hold the stretch for about 2 seconds and then you release for about 2 seconds. Now, just like the first stretch, practice it 5 to 10 times depending on how tight you are, and by the end of your round, you should start to notice less tension when you step into the stretch. And of course, don't forget to practice it on both sides. Before I share my third and final stretch with you, I just want to remind you that if you find this information helpful, please go ahead and click that like button and do share it with friends and family members who you think could really benefit from it. Also, if you're liking the video content I put out every week, go ahead and check the description below. There should be a link in there so that you can sign up for my next free live online workshop. I'm doing those periodically throughout the year, and if you like these videos, you won't want to miss one of these online workshops. So go ahead and click that link and save your seat in the description below. All right, now, for this next exercise, you're going to need a padded surface. If your knees are especially tender to be on them, then put a folded blanket down or something that is really soft. So we want to create a really comfy environment here. You're going to start on your hands and knees with your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips, and do your best to get your back nice and straight, so relatively neutral. Now, next, where do you put your feet? Let's put the tops of the feet on the surface if you can stand it. If it feels like that's a little too much or they're cramping, you could turn your toes under, but tops of the feet down is going to be better to really get this stretch along the front of the knee here. So we're going for the patellar tendon, which is the tendon that connects your quadriceps all the way across your knee with the patella inside it, and then that attaches down here on your lower leg bone. So we're trying to influence that tight tendon right there. So what we're going to do is just gently take the hips toward the heels, only as far as you can go without pain or strain. Wherever you need to stop, you stop. Hold it for about 2 Mississippis, and then you're going to come back to your start position to completely release the stretch. Once again, take your hips back towards your heels, keeping your back as long as you can. Stop where you need to, no pain or strain. Hold it for about 2 Mississippis and then come forward again. So just like the others, I want you to repeat this 5 to 10 times. Whenever you get to the end of your round, you should start to feel like you're having a little bit more success in moving your hips back towards your heels. And sometimes this takes a while. So remember that these are stretches that can be practiced daily. They should, over time, help you to loosen up your knees and find that you're more comfortable when you're walking, sitting, standing, etc. Anyway, I hope that was helpful for you today. Until I see you next time, keep moving and be well.